Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. It's good to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. Hopefully you had a good weekend, good day yesterday, and we're back for the rest of the week here. It's Tasty Tuesday, by the way. We got some special guests joining us very shortly. But first, my co-host, Benjamin Escobar, joining me from the HCCTV studios. Benji, always good to see you. Glad you could make it this morning.
Yeah, I made it on time this morning.
Well, that's kind of a rare occurrence.
Yeah. So,
yeah, because usually, just to give you a little what happens behind the scenes of TV world, Benji has a little bit of a bad habit, and looks like Benji will come in, and sometimes he may join us when the show starts. He may join us before the show starts. It's kind of a surprise, but this morning you surprised us pleasantly, though, Benji.
Yeah. I was here actually minutes early, and I thought you were going to be here to pop in and be like, "Hey, Todd, I'm here early." But
wow. Well, it's good to see you on time as always, Benji. As we mentioned, it's Tasty Tuesday, and we got some guests who'll be joining us in a few minutes. But first, we want to remind everybody that you can watch us on Facebook Live and YouTube, and they can also catch us in social media and on HCC TV, Benji.
Yeah, like you said, we're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC or Houston. You have to put district at the end of it, and on YouTube. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and we have our own TV channel, HCC TV, where you can catch the rebroadcast of this show at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Benji, I got to ask you, do your parents watch you on TV?
No, I don't even think we have access to this channel, but...
You don't show them yourself on social media?
Well, there was that one time where they were featured on the show for the restaurant, but that's about right. It. They only watch themselves. Other than that, they don't care.
They don't care. Okay. All right. Well, Benji, it's Tasty Tuesday. We're going to get to our Tasty Tuesday guests. They're live in the Montrose area. They're going to be with us in just a few moments, but we want to hear about one of our student success stories. So you want to take it away?
Yeah, so we have Gina Monti, HCC Weekend College graduate, who is continuing her education here in digital communications. Welcome to the show, Gina.
Good morning. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. As we said, you have completed one degree very impressively, as we understand it, because it was through the Weekend College and it's mostly online. And now you're delving into digital communications. But first, we want to start with at the beginning of your childhood. Tell us about that. How'd you grow up? Where did you grow up?
Well, so I'm a native Houstonian. I grew up mostly around, Southwest Houston. We could say Belanger area, and then in Galleria area, and then I went to school at Lamar High School for most of high school. So, it's kind of my stomping ground here around the central campus and so forth, this area, Montrose and Heights. But as I moved into college, I enrolled at the Bauer College of Business at the University of Houston. But I had, life happens and I had a disabling illness. And so I had to do a medical withdrawal. And so the dream of graduating kind of was put on hold for a little while, and then I discovered that HCC has the Weekend College, and so that was an amazing. Is what looked like an amazing opportunity for me to come back to school. I had other full-time volunteer commitments, and so it was the right program for me, and I decided to start over at HCC. So.
Okay, so now you, like you said, you were part of University of Houston's business college, and you came to us in 2018. What would you say? Did you have enough time there to experience what school was like at U of H and then here at HCC?
I had enough time there to kind of get an idea of student life, but it's nothing like it is here at HCC. HCC really makes it, it's family, and so I really felt more engaged here, and just the campus kind of felt a little more alive and more personal, and so I actually got involved in student life, and got together with some students, and we co-founded an organization called Dream Leaders.
Okay.
And so, like I say, it just felt right. Like there was more support. The resources were really there, and the relationship with the faculty and staff here has just been phenomenal. So, but we started Dream Leaders, and so Dream Leaders is it is open to higher education students of all types. It's including graduate students, part-time students, and those who are auditing higher education courses. It is a student group for and by college students with disabilities. We are sponsored at the national level by DREAM, which stands for Disability, Rights, Education, Activism, and Mentoring. Okay. DREAM is a federally funded organization sponsored by the National Center for College Students with Disabilities. And it's online at dreamcollegedisability.org. But Dream Leaders is the HCC chapter of the organization. And we feel that it's a platform where, as disabled students, we have an opportunity to use our collective voice to break cycles of poverty, exclusion, and stigma, and to move towards a more fully realized, healthy, and whole higher education community where everyone has access to tools and resources necessary to achieve their own dream.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Well, thank you so much for founding that. I'm here at HCC when you were here back in that time. Yes. But also, back to your education as well. Tell us about how the pandemic, that affected multiple students, even myself. Because I'm still currently a student because the pandemic kind of delayed some stuff for me. But tell us how that affected your studies and your graduation plans.
Right. So I started with the business program at the Weekend College in 2018. So 2020 was supposed to be my graduation year, and kind of put things that everything came to a halt, as we all know. Everybody had to kind of recalibrate, readjust, and there was just so much uncertainty. I had a semester delay. I ended up graduating in the fall of 2020. Instead of the summer of 2020, but I did graduate. And then along with that, as I said, there was kind of uncertainty, higher education and just everything as a whole. And but I wasn't sure about my next move. And so what I decided to do in order to maintain academic discipline was to enroll in a second degree program at HCC. Okay. I opted for world languages and Spanish, and ended up graduating in the fall of 2021. So even though the pandemic was something of a stop, it actually gave me an opportunity to kind of reevaluate and look at maybe acquiring a second degree that was a little more marketable.
Awesome. That's amazing. So I guess you could say you do speak a little bit of Spanish then?
Sí, puedo hablar un poquito de español.
We could probably go on with the interview because I speak Spanish myself. We could probably go in Spanish, but we'll need some subtitles at the bottom.
Ay, qué lindo.
So now you're continuing your education in the workforce development program. What are you studying and how did you come to earn what I heard is a PepsiCo scholarship?
Yes. Wow. Yes. So while I was finishing the second degree, I had residency requirements to fulfill, but had the opportunity to take a true elective. And so I opted for digital photography, the fundamentals of photography. All of us take pictures now, right? Cell phones. Yeah. But in order to be able to collaborate on a professional level, I needed to learn how to use a DSLR camera. So fundamentals of photography was perfect. I took that class and I fell in love with the digital communications program. So I decided to continue with that, and got contacted by the foundation, the HCC Foundation, that I was eligible for the PepsiCo Uplift Scholarship. And so the PepsiCo Uplift Scholarship is available for Black and Hispanic students who are continuing their education with certain technologies to advance their capabilities in the workforce sector. So, yeah. Okay.
And so I know I have here is Magnificat Houses Incorporated, and I've heard you're part of that.
One of the reasons, yes, Yes. So when I started at HCC, I was living and volunteering with Magnificat Houses. And Magnificat Houses is actually mostly centered in Midtown. We're neighbors with HCC Central Campus. But it is a 54-year-old nonprofit serving the Houston area with three main programs. We have programs for people who are formerly homeless. We have programs for people who are hungry, and then programs for people who face mental health challenges. So specifically, we operate 16 residential facilities within the Houston area, including an emergency shelter for now it's up to 14 days. So if anybody needs any help, we're located at 1410 Elgin Street. And you can find more information online at www.mhihouston.org. We also operate the Loaves and Fishes Soup Kitchen, which many people may be familiar with. It's been continuously operating since 1976. It's at 2009 Congress Street, which is directly across the freeway from Minute Maid Park. And then if anybody's ever been curious about what's that big white mansion right there across from the Heynen Theater on Austin Street, that is our St. Joseph House. And it is a psychosocial rehabilitation program for people over the age of 18 with a mental health diagnosis. It is free to join. The only requirements are that you have proof of diagnosis and that you be over the age of 18. So it is a non-clinical setting. There's no doctors, no group therapy or anything like that. It's about people coming together, people with mental health diagnoses coming together and empowering each other in community. After graduation, Magnificat invited me to a paid position, and all along I've been kind of working to develop my skills to give back to the organization. So the digital communications program, as I'm now a development and communications assistant for Magnificat Houses, is just a perfect fit for me.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being here with us. You're truly an HCC student success story. And we'd love to have you here. And all the volunteering work you're doing is all amazing. So Gina Monti, the HCC Weekend College graduate, who's continuing her education here in digital communications. We'll have your info on our post after the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful morning.
Great story. Great story. And so Benji, I know you have a girlfriend and you like to go out and try different restaurants, right?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Put this next place on your list. It's not that far from where you are. It's in the Montrose area. Southern Yankee Crafthouse. We've got joining us this morning, executive chef Matt Baum and Zenon Belanger, who is an assistant sous chef with Southern Yankee Crafthouse. Guys, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing great. Thank you for being here. Excited to hear all about that. First off, you guys are I want to get off right off the bat talking about where you're located. You guys are right off of Alabama, deep into the heart of the Montrose area, correct?
That's right. West Alabama and Montrose.
And that's the gastropub, but you also have a brewery, which is located in Houston as well, correct?
Correct. That one's going to be right off 45 in 1960. We're actually, the first brewery in Houston to open up our second location here at with the Craft House.
Okay. Matt, you've been a number of places. I'm looking at your background. Tell us a little bit about that, because I know a few of the places in your background I've definitely been to. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk about Zenon.
Okay. Well, I graduated culinary school from Le Cordon Bleu in 2006. I've been cooking since I was about 16 years old. I started off in country clubs and really got some awesome training there. Then I moved on to, back to Houston, where I worked at Chris Wine, Beer, and Eatery in the Heights, and did a really good job there. And then, I moved on to Common Bond, and we created, it was more a bakery than a cafe. But when I got there, we turned it into the cafe. So the food sales in the savory department was skyrocketed. So we did really good there. From there, I went over to Grace's to work with Johnny Caraba. It was such a great experience, humbling experience. And now here I am, Southern Yankee. I got my own opportunity to put my own food on the menu. The team has been great. It's been an awesome journey, really.
Well, I want to talk more about Southern Yankee in just a moment. Zenon, I understand you're an HCC alum as well.
I'm still in the culinary arts program. I graduated in December.
All right, and tell me, how long have you been with Southern Yankee, and what's your role there exactly?
I've been here since about February, and I came on as a line cook. And I've grown into more of a management position now, just running the kitchen, that kind of stuff, making sure service goes well, helping out wherever I can.
Matt, want to talk about the craft house itself. You mentioned 2 locations, of course, off 1960 and I-45, but the one in the Montrose area, looking over your menu, you guys are a different take. It's not pub food. You've really got a wide variety of things, but still some of the classics like the fish and chips. You got an interesting take on wings as well, from what I could tell.
Right. So what we did with our fish and chips, everybody likes to use like light, flaky fish, but down here in the South, Southern Yankee, we decided to use flounder, as I believe is an underutilized fish. Personally, one of my favorites, and it just kind of gives it that really good texture. And in our batter, we actually use our goose paw, where we make up at the brewery, and it just gives it such a light, crisp, crunch, and the batter's just so airy, and that flounder is so delicate and tender. We do everything in house. We make all of fillet our fish in house, and make all of our sauces aiolis. So it's really a great thing. For instance, today we're going to be plating up our pork belly app, which is one of our.
Yeah, let's go ahead. You can start doing that if you want, and I'll ask you some other questions while you got that going.
Yeah. So we tend to take our food to the next level. With my background, I've done a lot of really good cuisine, and I'm really versed when it comes to working on different elements of food. So we wanted to take my experiences and just bring to our customers something different than they're used to, instead of just normal bar food, and give them the experience they've never, really had. So.
And you've got that's a pork belly appetizer, which you're plating right now.
Correct. So what we have is, our pork belly. It's one of our dishes that, has stood the test of time. We have here is a roasted butternut squash puree, emulsified with brown butter and honey. We do our own pork belly in house. What we do is we cure it first for 24 hours, then we put it on the smoker for about 3 hours, and then we submerge it in duck fat and confit it.
You can't go wrong with that. Wait a second. You just can't go wrong. You got duck fat, you got pork belly. How can you go wrong with that stuff?
Absolutely, right? It is a process, a 3-day process, but quality and technique is everything. If you start with a quality ingredient and really just take care of it and use great techniques, you end up with a spectacular product. I feel like that's what we have here today.
And that looks like you got enough there for sharing at the table with well, actually, I could eat all that myself, but maybe another 2 people.
Once you have this dish, you don't want to share it. I promise you that.
I can imagine that. Did I also notice something on your menu that had combining Nashville hot chicken and fried oysters?
That's right. Actually, I'm going to be plating that next for you.
Oh, cool.
So I'm excited to do that, because that's one of those things I was, kind of holding out on. I wasn't sure if we were ready to pull that out of the pocket, if you know what I mean. But
that what you've got there looks awesome. And once again, that is the crispy pork belly. What is it called on the menu?
It's crispy smoked pork belly.
Okay.
Like I said, what we do is we finish it with arugula, goat cheese. We make a jalapeno cranberry chutney. And then we're going to garnish the dish with a house-made chili oil. So it's all kinds of flavors, textures. You have sweet, spicy, creamy. When we come up with these dishes, we really try to focus on hitting all aspects of flavor and textures and stuff like that.
Okay, so the next up is my one that really intrigues me, where we combine some fried oysters with Nashville hot sauce.
Yep, that's right. So what we do is we take our Gulf oysters and we just toss it right into our seasoned flour. We fry them nice and crispy. as you can see here.
Oh, yeah.
Right there, we put it into a Nashville hot butter that we make in-house. A secret recipe, of course. But what we do is we also serve it on our house-made pickles. We do all of our pickles in-house.
Oh, yeah.
We're a craft house. So what we're trying to do is, really make things from scratch kitchen, and just, like I said, really focus on our ingredients and techniques. So exactly what we got here today. So what we're gonna do, we have our house-made pickles just on a bed of just chopped lettuce. I'm tossing these chicken fried oysters right now in our Nashville hot butter.
Incredible. Those are some huge oysters too. You don't skimp on the oysters. That's a good size there.
Oh, absolutely. Here in the Gulf, we got awesome oysters growing, and it's a great opportunity to showcase some of our seafood in the South. Like I said, I try to stick to local ingredients,
right,
and sourcing them from our area instead of just bringing in cod or Gulf or East Coast or West Coast oysters.
And I understand you guys just had a beer dinner. Is that correct?
Correct. We actually did our first beer dinner September 22nd, which was a great opportunity. And what I did was I gave Z the opportunity, and our other sous chef, Jesus. I tried to give opportunity to all my staff. It's humbling to give a young student like Z an opportunity to put his ideas on the plate. So it was a great experience for Z. In our restaurant, our guests were knocked out of the park, already asking us when we're going to do our next. So here we have.
There we go. That is the chicken. That's the fried oysters in the Nashville hot sauce. Oh man, that looks incredible. Okay, you sold me. I got to be out there this week, so I'm going to come out there and see you guys. Matt Baum and Zenon Belanger. Z, we appreciate you being an HCC student. Keep up the good work, and Matt, thanks for bringing our students on with your operations there.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, we're going to have all the information on Southern Yankee Crafthouse and Brewery in our social media post after the show. Thank you for joining us, guys. We'll see you guys soon.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, Benji, are you ready for that? Maybe a little fried oysters with some hot sauce on it. And I know you could go for the crispy pork, right?
Yeah, that crispy pork for sure sounds very delicious. I'll probably have to take my girlfriend out there.
Yeah. I've kind of thought that because I know you're looking for places. Well, actually, what I understand is you take your girlfriend out to eat and then she goes out with her friends afterwards.
That's what I was going to say. That's a whole. Should I just go by myself or should I just?
I don't know. You treating them all to dinner and then they're all going to go out. Okay, that's your own. That's your. Everybody's got their, okay. All right. Well, thanks, Benji. Okay. Let's get to some announcements because we got some important things. I want to talk about an engineering career fair. Today's HCC UT Tyler Houston Engineering Career and Internship Fair. It's an opportunity to connect with employers, get some information on jobs, co-ops, internships. Get ready, folks. It's happening today, 1 to 4 p.m., October the 25th. Hey, that's today at HCC's Northwest A-Leaf campus. We'll have information in our post after the show. You definitely have time to get out there. And did you ever see Night of the Living Dead, the original one, Benji?
Yeah, the black and white one. I did see that one. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a classic. It's the movie where it all began with the original modern zombie movies. Did you watch
Phenomenal.
that movie? Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I saw that movie when I was a little kid. My grandfather actually was the one saying, hey, Todd, it was back when you didn't have cable. And my grandpa was like, stay up late with me tonight because I want you to watch this movie. Mm-hmm. And I watched it and it scared the heck out of me. I was very young at the time, but it was great. And that's happening today as well, Benji.
Yeah. So if you haven't taken a chance to look at that movie, join HCC Creative Writing Club, where you can take a look at George A. Romero's cult classic Night of the Living Dead, and popcorn will be provided. This will take place today at 3:30. There will still be sunlight up, so that's good. That'll take today at the Katie Multi-Purpose Room, and it's going to be free. So definitely
absolutely free. Okay, Small Business Success Series continues Tuesdays and Thursdays through November 10th. Free sessions. It happens. HCC Small Business Success Series has started with 10 2-hour Zoom sessions. All of them are free thanks to our partnership with Wells Fargo. Learn some business tips, learn how to grow your small business, or just get some tips on anything involving a home-based business. You can check them out. We'll have some links in our post after the show for that. And I want to skip down because we're running out of time real quickly to talk about the shorter fall classes that are available. You can still sign up for classes, Benji, for the spring. I know you're holding off on signing out, but you can sign up before the semester's over with and get some class credits in. Make sure you do so because the time is running out. There are 5 ways to learn. 2 are online, 2 are hybrid. One of them is, of course, in person. Go to hccs.edu/apply for all of your needs. Tomorrow, we got a very special guest on the show.
Yeah, we do. We have Dr. Michael Edwards of HCC Northeast. He'll be joining us, and hopefully he can tell us about the latest on the ROC program that's going on over there.
The Rock. It's called The Rock.
Yeah.
Rock. Live it, learn it, Benji. The Rock.
Gotta stay on brand.
And we'll also have another Small Business Wednesday guest. She creates intentional, innovative spaces for women of color, women-led businesses, and women-centric organizations in order to thrive. All that and more tomorrow on Up to the Minute. Benji, you're back next week. I appreciate you getting here on time today.
Yeah, it's just a one-time thing. No, I'm kidding.
I know. All right, Benji, we'll see you next week. And folks, we'll see all of you tomorrow morning live right here at 10 a.m. for Up to the Minute.